Hello, welcome to the course on astronomy for astrologers. As you can see, we have 21 tutorial videos on astronomy for astrologers. It takes you from the very basics all the way up to a very advanced level, and we cover some specialized topics like how house cusps are calculated, how in mundo planets are placed in astrocartography maps, etc. So it's a very comprehensive course, and you can watch individual videos if you want. You don't have to do them in order, but if you want to build from the ground up, I've got these organized in a way that progresses in a nice sequential manner. And the video that I recommend first is called What is Declination? I recommend this video first because it gives some very nice visuals. You can really see what things like the ecliptic plane are and what right ascension and declination are. You'll hear these terms. It can get very abstract, and so I've got some really nice visuals to help you get started and understand what these terms are and how we talk about where planets are in the sky. And then after you finish that first video, what I recommend next are the series of 4 videos called Astronomy for Astrologers. So you see them here in green, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will go into a lot of detail on the terminology and the different things we use in astrology, and it will answer some questions that come up. For example, if you're an astrologer, you know that planets in the 12th house are just above the horizon. Planets in the 1st house are just below the horizon. But did you know you can have a planet in the 12th house that's not above the horizon? Even though we think of the 12th house as being above the horizon, there are exceptions to the rule. And similarly, you can have a planet in the 1st house which we think of as being below the horizon, but it isn't. So there are all these little confusing, strange, weird things going on, and I'll explain it to you very clearly, very simply, step by step, how all this happens and what houses really are. So after the first 5 videos, you really understand astronomy for astrologers. You'll really have some expertise in it if you just do those first 5 videos. Now, if you're also interested in, for example, how house cusps are calculated, that's in the 6th video, the first of these 3 videos in yellow, which are on house cusps. And so that's in the 6th video, how house cusps are calculated. So I explain what the difference is between, for example, Regiomontanus houses and Campanus houses. Why do we have these different house systems? What's the concept behind it? That's covered in video number 6. And number 7 is on Placidus houses. Placidus houses are a little more complicated, so it takes an entire video, in fact it's 43 minutes, to explain how Placidus house cusps are calculated, and also an idea called true Placidus positions. So I describe that as well. And then video number 8 is on problems with houses near the Arctic Circle and above the Arctic Circle. If you're only going to watch a few videos, I strongly recommend the first one, What is Declination? Great video to get some of the basics of astronomy down. And then video number 8 is a really good one to know about these problems as you head up into the Arctic Circle area. So again, if you're only going to watch a few, those are 2 that I would strongly recommend. Okay, and then we've got these 3 videos, 9, 10, and 11, on astrocartography. So astrocartography was originally done in what's called in mundo positions, which is not the normal way we do astrology in the zodiac. So I explain in video number 9 what in mundo means and how it shows up in your astromaps. And then videos 10 and 11 are advanced. If you're just going to cover some of the basics, you can skip those. However, they're very interesting because it addresses this issue of whether in the in mundo astromap you could have aspect lines and midpoint lines, and if so, how you would do it. So by getting into some of the advanced astronomy behind astrology, it leads us into some new ideas, like how we could do aspect lines, how we could do midpoint lines. And we apply these ideas and we see that they make sense. It's actually pretty impressive. So we can open some new doors by understanding all this astronomy that's behind the astrology. Okay, and then continuing up here on the right-hand side, we have 3 videos, these orange-colored titles here. The moon's mean node and true node. This is another one I strongly recommend. If you're only watching a few videos, this is a great one because there have been questions about whether we even know where the true node is. I did some research that shows we do know where it is, and some information about the moon's mean node. The moon's mean node is pretty strange, even stranger than I thought before I did this research. So this is a really important video on something that's very basic to astrology, the moon's nodes. Okay, and then video number 13 is on how the planets orbit around the sun. You may have heard terms like the inclination of the orbit, the eccentricity. These are the characteristics of a planet as it travels around the sun, also the moon as it travels around the Earth. So to learn some of the basics of planetary motion. Video 14 is an interesting idea where I'm exploring the issue that we now have hundreds of thousands of asteroids. Is there some way to determine which ones would be more important? And I come up with a formula. So this is an interesting exploration of how we can analyze what's going on in the sky and maybe come up with some useful ideas for astrology. Okay, and videos 15 and 16 are just fun. You've got to watch video 15. It's terrific. The planets, as they move around the sun, make these intricate, beautiful patterns. So it's just a fun thing to watch, a fascinating part of what goes on with planetary motions. And then if you find that interesting and you want to learn more about the technical details behind that, that's what video 16 is, where we describe how these planet mandalas are made. Okay, so those first 16 videos are going to take you from the very basics of astronomy up to very specialized topics and advanced topics. If you go through all those videos and maybe sections you need to watch 2 or even 3 times to get it down, if you really grasp most of that information, you will have a high, very high level of expertise in the astronomy behind astrology. You'll be in a position really to help educate and teach other people and work with these ideas, at a very sophisticated level. Now, the last 5 videos are on applying the ideas. Video 17 is how we interpret out-of-bounds planets, which are planets that are beyond the normal range of declination, and also near out-of-bounds planets. Video 18 is another one that I recommend if you're only watching a few of these videos. It's on the 3 different kinds of house systems: quadrant, equal, and whole sign, and what they imply about how you're looking at the sky and how you're interpreting it. So this is an interesting one. I recommend it, even if you're only watching a few of these videos. Video 19 is on how you select planetary nodes. You can do research with planetary nodes in the Sirius software. And video 20 covers many of the different asteroid and minor planet features in the Sirius software. Just lots of features. There's interpretations, which are good reference materials, different ways to list and look at asteroids and minor planets. And the last video, number 21, is on this any asteroid feature, as we call it in Sirius 2.0, where you can select, as it says, any asteroid, any asteroid or minor planet. It's just a 5-minute quick video on that feature. And by the way, I have a note here. I'm often using this word asteroid when actually the more proper term is minor planet. Asteroids are a kind of minor planet. If you go to Wikipedia and you search for minor planet, you'll find this website address that talks about that. I just want to mention that because in astrology, I'm in the habit of saying asteroid for everything that's not a planet, and technically it's not right. And I know some other astrologers are also in that same habit. Okay, and so this is our course on astronomy for astrologers. We have other courses. I've already developed this course on astrological interpretation from beginning to advanced level. We have over 140 tutorial videos right now, and I'm organizing groups of them into courses like this one on astronomy. And also here are some other links. The links to all the YouTube videos, to the website of the Kepler and Sirius astrology software. here's the website address for the Matrix software and the website address for the Avalon School of Astrology where I teach. And lastly, let me just mention, I'll go back to this first video. Obviously, if you're coming back to this video, suppose you've watched the first video on declination, you come back, well, obviously you don't need to listen to me go through this whole thing again. Just come back here, click on the link to whatever video you want to watch, and you're on your way. Okay, I hope you find this helpful and informative. Take care. Thanks for watching. God bless. Namaste.